because that was good. All right, coming up next, we have Michelle Jewsbury. She is an international philanthropist, speaker, author, and coach who has traveled the world as an advocate for the less fortunate. In 2017, she founded Unsilenced Voices, which is a nonprofit focused on inspiring change in communities around the globe by encouraging victims to break free and survivors to speak up about domestic violence and sexual assault. Recognized as a valuable resource in the speaking industry, Michelle Jewsbury is the go-to professional speaker who uses her story of survival and as encouragement and motivation for others. Michelle Jewsbury.
Thank you so much. I am honored to be on this stage. Tiffany, that was an amazing introduction. I appreciate that. Tisha, what an incredible event. This is a wonderful fundraiser. And for everybody watching on Facebook, make sure that you go onto the auction and also donate there, because that's why we're here. We're here to not only collaborate and bring awareness to certain subjects, but to really help out this organization. And kudos to you, Tisha. I know it's incredibly difficult to hold a summit. I have done many of them, and I understand how incredibly hard it is, but you are doing a great job, and you have a great audience and an amazing support system. I do also want to shout out to Christine McKay for introducing Tisha and I. Thank you so much. I see you right there twiddling in your chair, so I really do appreciate you. Wow, I mean, tonight has been incredible. We have had entertainers, comedians, improv. It's been amazing. And these speakers, Julianne, Vicky, Mirage, and Heidi, you guys are absolutely wonderful. And it takes so much to be able to share your story, because it's so hard to speak up. And I know when I was in the beginning stages of speaking out, it was so incredibly difficult for me. And I know that there's people out there, there's people on Facebook, there's people on this Zoom call right now, that it is hard for you to and you just keep putting one foot in front of the other, and a journey is so incredibly important. I'm bouncing around. Okay, there we go. So what I want to today is I'm going to be talking about some essential steps to help with healing and also being able to tell your story. But I also am going to give you guys 5 essential steps to overcoming some barriers and some trauma, especially right now during 2021, well, 2020 going into 2021. But I do want to share a little bit about my story first. Is that okay with everybody? I can see you. So yes, thank you. All right, so I'm going to start off, let's see, I was born in the 80s to 2 amazing parents. I love my mom and my dad. They are no longer with us. So if you have your family members still with you, spend as much time as you can with them, because you never know how long that they're going to be here. But growing up, my dad was military, moved around my whole life. That was difficult and challenging for my brother and I, but we relied completely on our family and knew that, they had our backs. And that was what was so incredible. Well, fast forward until I'm like 16 years old, and I decide that, I want to do something more. I was working as a waitress in a restaurant. And at that point I was like, I enjoy talking with people. I enjoy being front and center. But I wanted something more. How many of you out there, you can put a 1 in the chat as well, because that would be easy. How many of you out there want something more? And you know that your life is meant to impact so many others. Well, at that point, I decided I wanted to be a Hollywood star, and I packed up my car and drove my happy little butt to Hollywood, California. So I could pursue my dream, and things were going great. I was making films, independent films, producing plays and commercials, and lo and behold, I end up meeting this really handsome, blonde-haired, blue-eyed guy who kind of swept me off of my feet. And I thought he was my Prince Charming. Growing up, I wanted a knight in shining armor to always come back and rescue me from the mundane reality of life. And I remember first meeting Paul, and he enamored me. He courted me, sent me flowers and gifts, and took me to Dodgers games. I know some of you on here know me, and I love the Dodgers. Go Dodgers World Series, yeah. But Dodgers games and Lakers games and sporting events and music events, and it was wonderful. And about 5 months into the relationship, my head went through the drywall. And at that point, I didn't understand what I was going through. I had no idea that this was the beginning stages of a domestic violence relationship. And I ended up staying with Paul for 4 years, where I endured psychological manipulation, physical violence. There were 2 times I was beat for over 4 hours each time, financial abuse, and sexual abuse. And during those 4 years, like I said from the beginning, I didn't understand. It wasn't until the end where I actually escaped and sat in front of my computer, very similar to what I'm doing now, sitting in front of my computer, when I started to document what happened to me. And when I started documenting what happened to me, I had an aha moment, like, holy crap, I can't believe that this is me. I can't believe that I'm reading about a story about myself, going through something so horrific. My mom, taught me and trained me growing up, be this strong, independent woman. And I was. And I even felt trapped in a domestic violence relationship. And at that point, I had oh my gosh, I have to do more again in my life. And I remember when I was writing, I ended up coming out in book format and then play format. Being an artist, an artisan, and an actress, I ended up writing and performing a 65-minute solo show about my experience in domestic violence. And what happened next was really incredible. So that debuted in 2016 at the Whitefire Solo Fest, and then later on that year at the Hollywood Fringe Festival. And then people started coming up to me and telling me their stories and saying, thank you so much for shedding light to something that a lot of people don't speak up about. And then again in my life, I was like, all right, I have to do something else. And just like Tisha did, I ended up starting a nonprofit organization called Unsilenced Voices, where we help survivors of domestic violence, sexual abuse, and human trafficking worldwide. We're in Ghana, Sierra Leone, and Rwanda, and we are expanding to the United States and planning a 2021 domestic violence awareness tour with collaboration with everybody. I know Martha is on watching right now. So yes, I'm calling you out, sweetheart. Women's Health, we are partnering with them. Hopefully also She Is Hope LA. And we're going to be talking about a lot of these injustices that happen, racial injustice, equality issues, you name it, from stage. So we can bring awareness to these topics, but also give hope and give education to the community. And just like Heidi said, the ability to hope. And that is what is so incredibly important. We have to be able to give people that ability to hope again, because you are not stuck in your circumstances. Like Mirage was saying, you can break through. You can turn your lemons into lemonade. Well, I know I only have a couple minutes left, so I want to quickly cover a couple of those topics. But first, before I do that, I ended up writing a book about my experience, like I said, called But I Love Him. What I want to do is give this away to somebody on here. Now, everybody has a cell phone, right? So take out your cell phone. The first person to text the word UNITE, UNITE, will get a complimentary ebook of my book. So go ahead and text the word UNITE 26786. Now, I will get a notification for the first person to text. So I'm waiting right here, and I'm not going to continue until I get that notification. So if anybody wants that free ebook, go ahead and text the word UNITE to 26786. All right, I'm waiting. Oh, I guess, okay, I'll type it. 26786. While we're waiting for that to come in, what I want to be able to do is give you guys a couple of tips. So I'm going to give you a 5-step system to help you overcome barriers. Now, like I said, I only have a couple minutes left. Oh, and look at this. I've got people coming in. So the first person who gets that, oh, and my phone died. So since my phone died, I will have to tell you, Tisha, who won that. But like I said, I only have a couple minutes left. So let me go ahead and jump into those 5 steps. So the first step in helping people overcome challenges is first recognize. So Heidi was talking about 12-week programs. The first step in any 12-week program is you have to recognize, understand, realize, accept what it is that you're going through. Now I'm going to go through this really quick because I know I don't have very much time left. But I remember, in my abusive relationship, I didn't understand what I was going through. And it wasn't until I realized it and recognized it that I knew that I could heal from there. But if I wasn't going to accept what happened, if I was going to hold it deep inside my soul and not talk about it, then you can't heal from that. Which leads me into the next step. The second step is thoughts, right? First is recognize, second is thoughts. You have to be able to change your thinking process. Henry Ford, not Napoleon Hill, said, whatever you think you can or you can't, you're right. And what he meant by that is if you wake up and you think, I can do it, I can overcome, I am a survivor, I will be able to make the money for my family, I will be able to take that next step forward, then you will. But if you wake up and you say, I'm feeling kind of crappy today, life sucks, I can't overcome, I'm going to be stuck in this relationship forever, then you will be. Whatever you think you can or you can't, you're right. So make sure you think positive every single day, which then leads me into the third step. You have to go from your thoughts to feelings, right? Like I said in the very beginning, it's so important to be able to express yourself. If you don't express yourself, there's something called adverse childhood experiences, which a traumatic event happens to you as a child or a young adult, and you don't talk about it. You don't write about it. You don't confide in a therapist. You don't do movement therapy or traditional therapy. When you do that, all of those emotions will then come out in physical and or emotional ailments when you get older. Autoimmune disorders, chronic fatigue, obesity, anxiety issues. 50% of entrepreneurs, and I know a lot of us out there are entrepreneurs, deal with depression. Why is that? Because we think we are CEOs, which is Chief Everything Officer, which that's not what it stands for. I see Tisha laughing. Running a nonprofit, you're CEO, right? You're Chief Everything Officer for a little while, right? Good girl. However, you have to be able to delegate. You have to be able to speak, be able to talk with a therapist, be able to express your emotions and things that happen to you. So incredibly important. So do some writing exercises. I love stream of consciousness writing, where you just literally sit with a pen and a piece of paper and just write what's in your brain. So I need milk. I hate him. I can do this. Oh, I'm so depressed. Wait, I got this, just anything. It doesn't have to make sense. You don't have to share it with anybody. You can burn it afterwards. Just get it out of your mind, right? So first step, recognize thoughts, feelings, and then words, right? Powerful words. And again, I'm using Heidi. You ended up talking about positive power words, how you need to express yourself in positive ways. What we teach is we help you to write Post-its. I used to put lipstick on my mirror in my bathroom. I can do it. I'm enough. I'm a survivor. I will be a millionaire. I could, whatever it is that you want, but put those positive power words around you. You are grateful. You are enough. And it's so important. My office is in my closet. So I have positive power words all around me. Same thing, in my bathroom and in my car. And so wherever you go, just keep those all around you. And then the last one is action steps. Like I said, I only have like a minute left. I apologize. But the last step is action. So make sure to write, make sure to get enough exercise. I don't mean go run a marathon, but I do mean get outside and get some fresh air. Most of us live in Los Angeles, so it's beautiful. It was awesome today. I went golfing today. Do something to be able to exert yourself so you're not trapped Zoom hopping, because that's what we're doing right now. Do something for you. Make sure you eat well, things like that. I mean, I love chocolate. We all love chocolate. I see a bunch of women on here, right? Yeah, chocolate. but also add some vegetables. Dark chocolate's good for you, but so's asparagus. So maybe you can balance it out. But those are the 5 steps. Like I said, I don't have very much time left. Again, if you text the word UNITE to 26786, you will get those 5 steps in a PDF format, easy to follow. Tisha, thank you again so much. And those of you watching on Facebook, I know that there's a lot on Facebook. Make sure you go to She Is Hope LA and donate, because that's what we're here for, is to fundraise for this amazing organization. I look forward to collaborating with you and working with you in the very near future, Tisha. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you, Michelle.
Thank you. Absolutely collaborating. It's so important to your message. I know it's a little bit of a darker topic. I wanted tonight to be fun, but it needs to be addressed. It's so important. Women are afraid to speak up. They're embarrassed by their situations, and they shouldn't be. We're here together to lift each other up. And I'm so thrilled with what you're doing, and I'm thrilled to have you be a part of this. So thank you.
Yeah, thank you very much. And I really appreciate it. So you can't overcome, right?
Unsilenced Voices. And we can find this online.
Oh,
Michelle?
yeah. Unsilencedvoices.org. Tons and tons of videos and footage. You can donate there if you'd like as well. I'm not here for Unsilenced Voices. I'm here for She Is Hope LA. But yes, you can find us online.
We're in this together.
Yes.
We are in this together.
Thank you for turning your trauma into triumph, and for sharing your story that's probably helping so many women around the globe and will continue to help women. So we're grateful for you. Thank you, Michelle Jewsbury. I'm gonna grab that book too. Oh, I'm so inspired by everybody who spoke tonight. Thank you to all of our phenomenal women speakers, survivors, thrivers. You are the reason why we're all here right now. So thank you. So now we're gonna get into some comedy. We're gonna get some little laughter going again. And this is the last